Go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this question is from Joey Mamikos, and he said, "Being that you guys are both Christians, how has dreads helped or not in your ministries?" And so, from a Christian ministry perspective, like dreads are something that's really cool, really open doors and opportunity to like reach out to people that you wouldn't normally get to. Right? Because I spend a lot of time longboarding, I spend a lot of time slacklining, different outdoor activities with a certain group of people, and like dreads have been something where people feel like they can relate to me more easy because there's something about dreads that kind of draw people towards you. And so it really gives you an opportunity to hang out with a different crowd of people that you like I may not get to as much now that they're gone and stuff. It's like, Colin, what do you think about that?
I agree. I think it helps people. It helps people feel like you're not going to judge them because
Yeah.
you kind of look crazy. You know what I mean? Like, if you have dreadlocks, then you're probably not worried about what people look like, and that makes people feel like they can open up, or they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Really exactly what you said.
Yeah, that's good. I like the way you put that. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Next question is from Emma Rinsbo, and she said, "What should you think about if you want to get a full sleeve?" I guess you mean of like tattoos. If you want to get a full sleeve, you need to think about what you want to do for the rest of your life. But more so, if you're just talking about there's a lot of stuff to think about before you get a tattoo. But if you already made your decision about wanting to get a full sleeve, think about what tattoo, what you want, what style you want it in, and then you need to look into your artist, who you want to get to do it. I really recommend Googling. Her name is Chris. That's what her name is for short. But her company is called Beyond the Ink, and she really talks about tattoo education. There's really like a process to finding a good tattoo artist and finding out what you want and everything, where you want it and stuff. But yeah, that's what I'd say. There's a lot that goes into it. That would be a lot more than me answering in a minute or so.
All right, so our next question we've got is from Connor Huffman. Connor asked, "How did you convince your folks to let you get dreads, or did it not matter to them? How can I convince mine?" So this is something we've also touched on a little bit too, just what our parents think and stuff. And like I said, my parents, my dad didn't really care either way. My mom said, "Well, Ryan, I know that's probably the most rebellious thing you'll do," so she was like fine with it. They didn't love them at first, but in time they did. My mom had more of an issue with me growing my hair out and getting long, more than she did me getting dreads. As far as convincing yours, I mean, I just kind of like stress the fact that they're not super nasty and dirty if you take care of them, and that it's just more of like a hairstyle than a lifestyle kind of thing if that's what they're worried about. I don't know, man. It's everybody's parents are different, but I mean, if you just show them that you really want it, and it's not like an impulse decision, but something you've put thought into and something you really think you would enjoy having, and for whatever reason, just be honest with them, and they'll either support or they won't.
Yeah, I was the same way. My mom really didn't want me to, but I just did it. I didn't live with my mom at the time, so I just did it anyway. And then eventually, I got to where she didn't really care. But if you want, I think I've never really read it, but one of my friends did, and it helped with his parents. It's on Dreadhead HQ, their website, and it's like called Letter to Parents or something like that. And it's all about informing parents about it, because really your parents just think that dreads are gross and they're going to stink, yeah, and they have to look bad and all that stuff, and that's really not the case. So, yeah. What's up, bud?
Are you video chatting with someone?
Yeah, we're recording a video.
That's awesome. Why didn't you,
You're awesome.
If you're recording, why don't you say?
Because I don't care. It's not a big deal. Anyway, if you don't want to finish it.
What do you mean? There's nothing to finish.
Well, there's breadsticks and a piece of pizza. Next question is from Brian Primo, and he asked, "Do you feel like dreads put extra strain on your hair? I'm 34 and always wanted dreads, but I'm not getting any younger. I wouldn't say I'm going bald, but my hairline probably isn't going to get any better. Do you think A, dreads would look bad on thinner hair, and B, do you think it increases natural hair loss?" I don't think it increases natural hair loss unless they are just really long, like down to the floor, and they have a lot of dirt, so they're really heavy. Because dreads are surprisingly not nearly as heavy as you think they would be. When they're wet, they're really heavy. But
yeah.
And whenever you put them up, like if you have like a band holding them, then usually you'll have tension around like the ones on your hairline or the ones in the back. Like when I pull mine up in a ponytail, the ones in the back kind of, because I use a rubber band to keep it from sliding off. But that dreads would look bad on thinner hair. No, not really, unless you're going to see your parts probably. But just don't keep your parts as neat, and that kind of frizz will kind of cover your sections maybe. And unless you have like real thin hair, like if you have like you're bald on top and you have like just hair on the side of your head, that might look ridiculous. Or if you're like real thin, like if you comb your hair back, you can see your scalp with your, like you're that thin haired, I might not do it. But the extra strain on here, not really. Let me make sure I answer the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would do any extra strain. I don't know tons of science behind hair and stuff, but like I was saying, it's like, I mean, it's not like you gained any more hair when you lock your hair. It's just like in different forms. So it's, as far as like extra weight on your scalp and stuff, like no. But like Colin said, when you are pulling back, like you can get a little more tension on the roots and stuff that are pulling more. And then if you wear a tam, sometimes your neck gets a little sore because it's just a lot of weight in one spot. But I mean, I don't think it does any strain on the hair. Because I mean, you can dread any hair type. Like, yeah, thinner hair, like smoother hair, is not. It's gonna take a little longer to kind of fully lock up than like thick curly hair. But I mean, it doesn't mean it can't happen. It will happen. It's just a different process, kind of. So I hope that helps you out, Brian.
All right, we're go. You can go ahead.
Okay, cool. So this next question we got is from Thomas Urso. He said, I noticed around your 6-month mark that you had a lot of loops, about 2 inches or so below your roots. Did you give any special treatment, or did they just get sucked in the body of the dread over time? And then, so we'll do this apart. So we'll start with that one. And so yeah, I'm going in like up to my first like 6 months. Actually, my first year, I had a lot of loops on my dreads, but those are something that really will just go away. You do have to pay somewhat special attention to them because like when you're palm rolling, maybe palm roll those ones a little more. When you're washing your dreads, really good time to palm roll because when it's wet, it can move a lot more and you can really compress those loops and get them to lay flat on there and almost go away completely. And so that's just something that takes time, but they will go away. And then so the next part of the question talks about my hair is getting too long to stuff in the shower cap. On days where you don't wash your hair but still shower, do you wrap it in something? Just be careful not to get soap in it. Trying to get them, getting them wet to a minimum. I've actually never used a shower cap or anything like that. When I first started, I used a bandana more that just kind of like flopped over the top to kind of blocked it a little bit. But then when they got long enough for a ponytail, I just had them like up on the top, like kind of an onion head style. And that kept it out. I mean, if you're not trying to get them wet, they won't get wet. They might get like a little damp, but like, I mean, it's real easy to keep them from getting soaked. Unless they're super long, then you're going to have a little more of an issue where you have to do some sort of bun thing up here. But honestly, that's not a big issue. Not something you really have problems with. What you got, Colin?
Same thing. I had not really that many, except for I've had maybe like 4 or 5, but they usually get pulled in around once they grow out. Because I only get them like at the roots. Every once in a while, once they get to about 1 inch to 2 inch, they start to shrink and then go in. But as far as that, shower cap. If you do the shower cap thing, you can buy like dread shower caps that are really big for like long dreads. But I did that for a little while and then stopped because it wasn't really that necessary. But what I do is I just avoid. Maybe I'll pull my hair up or pull it back and just try to not. If your hair's not going to get wet unless you like purposely get it wet. So if it does, maybe just the tips or whatever. So you're gonna get soap in it. Is that pretty much all?
Yeah, that was it for that one.
Okay.